Hello and welcome to our Kickstarter Spotlight. This is our regular roundup of new games looking for funding online. I'm Charlie and today I'll be showing you Horizon Trails.
I'm Keith and I'll be having a look at Scramble Ship.
And I'm Alex. I'll be covering Sword of Fargold 2 and something that isn't from Kickstarter, Prison Architect.
So first of all, we're looking at Horizon Trails. Now this is a retro adventure game. It's a very simple game, nice and fun looking. It's based on a zombie apocalypse. You're travelling across America and you've got a solution to the crisis. However, you've got to do this within 30 days whilst keeping tabs on your health, supplies and other things. You can also uncover pieces of the story that have led up to this apocalypse along the way. You're looking at 80s style amusement as well for any fans of that sort of thing. But yeah, the aim of it is fun and silliness. You can get the game for $10 with the Kickstarter pledge. That's €8, £7 British. A very reasonable thing for a simple game. Their project aim is for $5,000 American dollars. They're currently sitting on 3,400 with 22 days left. They've only been up for 2 days. It looks as though it's definitely going to get funded, but they've certainly got some stretch goals as well. If you're looking at pledging tiers, then you've got extra abilities beyond the $10 to go for higher items such as canvas artwork, iPhone cases especially designed with artwork, t-shirts, hoodies, and if you end up pledging over, I think it's $100, you can even get your own personal character to play in game. Now, the main problem with it at the moment is it's only an iPhone product. However, the stretch goals are in there to deal with that problem. If they reach 10,000, which is a good likelihood, they're aiming to put it on the iPad as well. If they get 15,000, they'll also give it to all the Android people as well by converting it over. So that should be very good. I hope that they reach that goal. Now, they've got a very big stretch goal in case that it really takes off of $50,000. This will allow them to double the length of the entire campaign by making a new story and will be available as DLC later on because they'll obviously need a bit more time to make it. They're currently aiming for a 31st of October release so that it's in time for Halloween. And this DLC, as I said, doesn't have a release date yet, but it will be free to every backer from $1 upwards. So that's very good. They're spending the money on polishing off things really. They so far haven't locked down music or FX sound, so they're looking at software and products for that, as well as polishing off the illustrations and making it a rounded experience. The team involved, 2 main devs, and they've been involved in a lot of famous games from the past few years, including the upcoming Halo 4. We're looking at things like Fear 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, Condemned 2. You know, these are people who've got plenty of experience. It looks like a promising game.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. Is it an arcade-style game? Because when I heard Horizon Trail, I was kind of hoping it would just be Oregon Trail, but with zombies. But that doesn't look like the case.
Ah, well. Oregon Trail was definitely one that inspired it.
Yeah. I'm seeing inspiration, but it's not actually managing a little wagon on its way west type game.
No, not quite, no. No, it's that adding zombies in, a few alternate little pieces.
I do quite like the art style, which is very cartoony and a bit blocky, like Minecraft sort of made more popular recently.
Yeah, I think that's got a lot going for it these days. They've certainly locked into that little market that's arisen.
Well, it does look like they're pretty much going to make it guaranteed. I mean, it's been 2 days and they've got, 60%?
Yeah. Well, since explaining this, I think it's gone up by another $100. So it just shows how popular it seems to be.
Yeah, clearly people just can't get enough of zombies.
There does seem to be an excess of zombie games these days, but definitely a lack of decently made ones.
Did you not see that statistic on Wikipedia? There have been more zombie games made in the last 5 years than in the entire history of gaming.
Yeah, I saw that. It's definitely sort of a zombie fetish going around.
All right. Well, from zombies to a look at Keith's new game then. What have you got for us today, Keith?
Well, I have Scramble Ship, which is... it's quite an interesting concept and a very difficult one to explain. Basically, imagine Minecraft. And then imagine instead of making blocks and digging up trees and dirt or whatever, you're mining asteroids and you're building a ship with those blocks. So basically, you have a little ship which you've built out of blocks. And you can make them out of things like tin, aluminium, titanium, uranium, butter. Butter is actually in the game.
Love it.
So is aerogel. And you pilot this ship round, you find an asteroid, you mine it, you get more blocks, and you build the ship bigger. And currently, they're in alpha, and they've got a lot of stuff. They've been in development for a year. They've got a heat system built, which allows heat build-up and heat weapons to boil bits of the hull. So they did a demonstration where you saw butter would start to boil, then aerogel would boil, then tin and so on would boil before things like steel started to boil. They've got damage-based voxel sort of mechanism. A lot of stuff built up already, but what they want to do is make it more persistent and so on. So they want to introduce the asteroid mining, which isn't there currently. They want an open-world multiplayer where each solar system will be a separate server, and you travel between servers by way of hyperdrives or transwarp gates for smaller craft. They want to introduce simulated collisions, hull strain and deformation, AI crew, organic ships that need food and can heal damage. They've currently got the organic blocks in the game, so that the blocks will heal, but they need to be able to integrate that into an entire ship. And they haven't got any weapons in it so far, other than the ability for the player to go along and start damaging ships. It looks very interesting, because I've always been a fan of spaceship simulators, and that's kind of why I really liked FTL when that idea came along, which we've just done a little thing on. And it looks so much fun being able to make your ship in any design you want. I mean, you could make a giant flying disc, you could make a giant fish, like a spaceship. The ability to be so customizable and then be able to fly it around however you want looks like I'm elated. I'm geeking out over this.
Oh, it looks really interesting. I can't wait to ride HMS Lurpak across the waves. I like the idea of... hell yes.
Butter-built ship.
I was going to say, does that mean we can mine butter from asteroids?
That is what I'm wondering. I don't know where you get the butter. Butter is a key block in the game.
You know where they come from?
The cow planet.
The moon's made of butter. Wallace and Gromit lied to us. It's not cheese at all.
It's butter.
Delicious Lurpak.
There's this giant flying space cow which you have to catch up with, and then you have to sort of somehow milk it and then churn the milk and make it into butter.
I'm sold. If that's in the game, I'm sold.
I really want that to be in the game now.
What format's it coming out on? Is it just PC? Is it looking to go on any other platforms? Or
they've currently got it working on Windows and Linux in the alpha version, and they're working on a Mac version right now, and they say they should have that out in 1 to 2 months. I mean, it's only $10 to back the game and get the copy when it comes out, and you get access to the alpha now. If you get $18, you get the deluxe copy, which means every time they do an update, which is 72 hours or less, you get an update. And then it goes up, you get deluxe copy, and you get a copy for a friend, and so on and so forth, until you get to stuff like you get one of the red shirts gets named after you, sort of the standard stuff you can imagine. It's all quite interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to this. I only discovered it recently, but I'm absolutely jonesing to have a go. I cannot wait to make a butter ship.
I think I'm getting sold on this. I might have to purchase a little pledge in here.
Yeah, they're only looking for $8,000, which is very reasonable. Right, Alex, what have you got?
So yeah, this week I'm doing Sword of Fargol 2, which is the sequel to Sword of Fargol. Originally, it came out in 1982. Then they did a port to iOS back in 2009. Sword of Fargol 2 is aiming to improve everything from the original iOS release, as well as bringing it to PC and Mac. It's a roguelike game, so you get dumped in a dungeon, and somewhere below you is the Sword of Fargol. You have to fight your way past horrible monsters and traps, finding new gear as you go, and basically just try and survive till you can get this sword and then escape the dungeon with it. So you have to climb your way back through all the rooms you've already been through. Obviously, being a roguelike, you're going to die a lot. It's a hard game with randomly generated dungeons and gear, enemies, everything. The intention of this Kickstarter was to get enough money to finish game production. They have a good base working on the original Sword of Fargol, but they want to add new weapons, monsters, traps, classes, improve monster behavior, add bigger, more varied dungeon levels, all that good stuff, and bring it to more platforms. It's definitely worth looking at. If you like roguelikes, then this has pretty much everything you want, plus with a nice new lick of paint on it. To fund it, you're looking at $8 for the iOS release with a soundtrack, which is £4.90 in Britain and €6 in the EU. If you want PC and Mac release, that's $15, £9 in Britain, $12 in the EU. And yeah, as I say, both of those come with a soundtrack, so PC, Mac plus game soundtrack.
Yeah, it's not a bad price for the sort of game it's promising to be.
It does look pretty retro. Bringing back memories of my childhood. My long, long forgotten childhood.
If you fund higher as well, you can get T-shirts and little plush toys and things. They're not promising too much extra in the game, because I think they know where they want to go with it already with the money they're getting. They're currently at $16,000. $50,000 is their goal, so plenty of time to get in there, and it'll be nice to see it get pushed through. This next thing, Prison Architect, comes from Introversion Software. The guys from DEF CON, Darwinia, and way back Uplink, which is like a hacking simulator. This isn't actually through Kickstarter. They're alpha funding through their own website, which is introversion.co.uk. Prison Architect is inspired by Bullfrog, mainly, a studio from the 90s that brought us things like Theme Hospital and Dungeon Keeper.
And if you haven't played either of those games, stop being on YouTube, go get the game, go play the game. They're brilliant even now.
Yeah, two of my favorite games from when I was a kid.
Dungeon Keeper doesn't play that well, but...
Dungeon Keeper 1 does. Dungeon Keeper 2 you'll have issues with, but still, worth checking out. They're on GOG.
Theme Hospital still works a charm if you just change the color settings on the game.
Yep, you can get it on GOG.com for a decent price. But yeah, that's sort of the golden age of management sims is basically what this game is going for. You're in charge of a prison, so it's already going for a much darker theme. A maximum security prison, you have to build all the rooms, the showers, the electric chair, things like that. You'll be building a full maximum security prison from the ground up. Think Shawshank.
Is there a tickle torture chamber?
I don't know about that. You might have to sate your weird desires elsewhere.
I don't know if I'd really want to build the prison from Shawshank Redemption, because that's just a little bit dark even for me.
Well, that's the thing. This game has a really nice sort of cartoony style, but there is going to be single-player campaign as well as sandbox mode, and in the single-player campaign you're seeing scenarios that are quite dark. The one thing they've shown so far that was available was they have these sort of realistic cutscenes cut in with the cartoony style, so you'll be seeing these cartoony little people being dragged to the electric chair, but it'll have very dark sort of graphic novel style cutscene going on, showing you this guy getting his last will and testament and things. But the whole point of the game is you sort of have indirect control over everything. You can give your prison guards orders, you can give them the gear they need, but after that, if a fight breaks out, it's just up to them how they deal with it, if you can help them out or not.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that they would like to somehow be able to help the guards out in a fight, but that's currently not in the alpha.
Yeah, the alpha's obviously an incomplete product. As they were saying, you've got these prisoners that are taking their lunch to the shower and eating it naked, which probably isn't the intended purpose.
Yeah, I do love that little bug.
Or them all sitting and eating in the lunchroom while the room's on fire. So pretty much anything that you can imagine that you would want in a prison simulator will occur in this game. You'll have riots, you'll have fires, you'll have all kinds of craziness going on, people shanking each other. To fund the game, you're looking at $30 as the base pack. That gets you the game for PC, Mac, and eventually Linux. And if they're lucky enough to get on Steam, you'll be getting a key for there as well. You'll get regular updates and private access to the wiki and forums. That's $30 in the US, £18 in Britain, and €23 in the EU. But yeah, there's a trailer if you want to see the kind of thing that they're working on. There's plenty of.
And they do take the mick out of themselves quite a lot in the trailer, which is good.
Yeah, they definitely have a sense of humor. Well, you have to when you're dealing with this sort of source material.
Especially Introversion Software.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, who makes a fun little game about nuclear war where you try to destroy other people's countries and civilian populations and then... Oh, it's a fun little game.
Yeah, that's DEF CON. You should check it out if you haven't played it.
DEF CON is definitely fun. We may do a challenge accepted about that, but...
I will definitely lose. Keith's a backstabbing son of a bitch.
You just aren't as dastardly as me. That's the problem.
Yeah, you are the devil, the father of all lies.
I play people against each other amazingly. I can't believe people actually accept my word.
But yeah, that's Prison Architect, introversion.co.uk. So if you're interested, go check them out, as well as the other things we've covered this week in the Kickstarter Spotlight. If you like what we've been doing, you can throw us a sub, like the video, let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you next time.
Bye for now.
Catch you later, guys.